Our Prophetic Connection camera crew is back in Israel. We've just finished, pretty much finished, filming a new series that will air later this year. So you've seen this backdrop before. I'm standing on a balcony on the mountains of Carmel. This was Elijah the prophet's stomping ground. So we're very, very high. Below you can see the harbor, the naval base, and beyond it, ships waiting to offload their goods when there's room for them down below on the docks. But away behind me in the distance, the hills of Lebanon. This is very significant because Hezbollah is in Lebanon, just over the hills that you can see. And Hezbollah is the enemy of Israel, in the same way that Hamas is in the Gaza Strip. Now, in the summer of 2014, in roughly 100 days, missiles were raining down from Gaza on the Israeli communities in the south. Well, actually, their range is even longer now, and they were hitting Jerusalem as well. So Gaza has sophisticated missiles, but perhaps they're nothing compared to what Hezbollah has in the southern part of Lebanon, just over the mountains you can see behind me. Hezbollah has boasted in recent days that they have more sophisticated missiles than ever, and they have replenished any that they've used in previous conflicts with Israel. The other day we were sitting and my cell phone has an app which goes off like a siren when a rocket is fired and the alarm is sounded in Israel. But on Tuesday of this week, there was a nationwide drill. I think probably because of the threat of Hezbollah and its missile arsenal. So we were in a restaurant, in fact, and my cell phone, the siren went off. I thought it was outside, but my cell phone was making all this noise and distraction actually in the restaurant. And it started with the northern tip of Israel, in fact, this area, and then as the nationwide drill continued down through the length and breadth of Israel, it kept repeating over and over again as sirens sounded in new areas of the country. Now, Israel doesn't do that unless it has really good reason to do so. And the concern is if there's an unprovoked surprise attack, people will need to respond quickly and find the nearest air raid shelter. But the sad thing is that they're already calculating the casualties that will occur, because inevitably the older people, the younger people, and just people caught in unfortunate situations will not get to a shelter quickly enough, because once the missiles start raining down, obviously there'll be some casualties, but they're calculating just how many there will be. So they're doing their best to get the nation prepared for what is really inevitable. So I'm standing here on the balcony overlooking the Mediterranean. It is a gorgeous morning in September. The sun rose on the hills as it does every day. But just beyond those hills, the enemy waits for the opportunity. And I wish I could say otherwise, but one of these days, buttons will be pressed, missiles will be fired, and once again, Israel will have to defend herself. So having said all of that, you know what? Need to pray for Israel, need to support Israel, because this tiny nation is in the center of a cauldron of conflict that's whirling all around its borders. In fact, even up on the Golan Heights, there are tourist advisories that you better not go to that northern part of the Golan, because errant shells have been coming over because of the conflict on the other side of the border, but sometimes a missile or a shell, whatever, lands on the Israeli side. So this is, for all its tranquility, a place that is at the center of the crosshairs of the enemies of Israel. And prayer can make a difference. So when you think of Israel, pray for Israel.